Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about women have to choose you to be attracted to you. So there's that famous quote by the dating coach David D'Angelo, which is attraction isn't a choice. And you can find that video as well on YouTube. I think it's like 9 minutes long, and it's basically David D'Angelo is on a stage and he's talking about how attraction isn't a choice. So I highly recommend that you go and watch that video. But the idea is that if a woman isn't attracted to you, there's not really a lot you can do about it. There's not really much that you can do to change how she feels about you. If she's not attracted, she's not attracted. So it's always best to move on if you just flat out get rejected by a woman. Okay, just let it go. Attraction isn't a choice, and I know this from first-hand experience because I'm a lesbian, and if I could, so I'm quite happy with who I am now, right? I'm quite happy with the fact that this is my life because I've got a lovely wife, I've got a lovely child, so I'm happy with the way that my life was. But if you had asked me when I was a teenager, do you want to be a lesbian? I'll be like, hell no, I do not want to be a lesbian. It's the worst thing on earth. I hated being a lesbian. I hated the fact that I was attracted to women and not guys. My life would have been 100 times easier for me, and my life, especially my life as a teenager, would have been, and my early 20s would have been so much easier for me if I had not been a lesbian and if I had been straight. If someone had told me, okay, here's a switch and you can choose to be attracted to guys instead, I would have pressed it like nobody's business and I would have been straight. It would have made my life so much easier, so much less awkward. I know things are kind of awkward for everybody and hard for everybody. It's not like people who are gay or lesbian have harder lives, because it's kind of like it's different for everybody. So the difficulties in my life will be different from the difficulties of someone who's straight or whoever else, right? My difficulties don't necessarily mean that mine are more important or more worse than anyone else's. But I can see, looking back throughout my teenage years, from my early 20s, if I hadn't have been a lesbian, my life would have been so much easier. And it would have been better, probably. Okay, but obviously now it's fine. I don't mind that I'm a lesbian. I've got a great life now and I'm very, very happy. But I wasn't as a teenager, like a lot of teenagers. And I'm sure I would have come up with some other kind of problem for my life during that time, not just being gay. But I couldn't choose it. I couldn't choose to not be attracted to women. And it sucked. And I wish that I could have chosen differently, but I couldn't. I just literally couldn't find any attraction in men whatsoever. I wanted to be friends with guys, and I really wanted to be attracted to them, but I just couldn't feel it. I just didn't feel it, didn't have the attraction. And it wasn't always just like attraction as well, because I think a lot of people get confused about the whole like gay and lesbian thing. Like they think so much of the sex part of it and think, oh, they just like having sex with women, or they just like having sex with men. And it's not that, really. What it was for me personally was feelings, emotions. Like I remember being at school and really, really wanting to be close and hugging all of the girls that I had crushes on. And I didn't really want to do that with any of my guy friends. I didn't want to be around them and want to be in their presence all the time. I just want to be like having fun and having a laugh with my guy friends. But with all the friends that I had that I was really attracted to and actually had secret crushes on, I just wanted to hug them. I just wanted to be around them. I just was so absorbed in their presence. And that's kind of like how I started to know that, oh God, this is not good. But anyway, you can't choose who you're attracted to. Because also, I thought, well, when I started to be more confident in the fact that I was a lesbian and started to pursue women and was more trying to find a girlfriend for myself, one of the women that sort of changed things around for me was this girl that I liked who was also a lesbian. But I was absolutely dumbfounded when I found out that when she started losing interest in me. I was like, I don't understand. I'm a lesbian, you're a lesbian, what's going on? What's wrong here? Right? But it was because attraction isn't a choice. Even for gay and lesbian people, like I'm not attracted to every single woman I see. Just like a lot of gay guys aren't attracted to every guy they see. And I'm sure you, if you're a man watching this, which you probably are because this is directed towards men, you're probably not attracted to every woman that you see. So it really did confuse me and kind of helped me then figure out and put some puzzles together and some pieces together that about attraction that, okay, so so other lesbians aren't attracted to all lesbians. It just kind of blew my mind. My small teenage brain at the time, I was like, what? You don't like me? But I'm a lesbian too. I don't get it. But attraction isn't a choice. It's almost like we all have this sort of like navigation system inside of us about who we're attracted to. So I was like, okay, so I'm attracted to these kinds of particular women, but I'm not attracted to these kinds of women. So when a woman rejects you, or she says that she's not interested in you and she doesn't choose you, what you got to realize is that, okay, so she's got a navigation system inside of her, and for whatever reason, she's not attracted to me, but she's probably attracted to some other guy or some other guys, you know. That's what you got to see it as, and you got to think, okay, you got to turn it around and think, okay, well, I'm exactly the same. There are some women I find really attracted to, that I'm really attracted to, and there are some women that I'm not attracted to, and it just happens that my navigation system is pointing at her, but hers isn't pointing at me. So what I need to focus on is I need to find a woman who not only am I really attracted to and my navigation system is pointing at her in terms of attraction, but hers is also pointing at me. And that's how you've got to sort of deal with that, right? And you've got to realize that she needs to choose you too. Just because you like her, just because you fancy her, you can't project that and project your interest onto her thinking that she's going to feel the same, because that's not always the case. And I'm sure you've experienced occasions like that where you've liked a woman and she doesn't like you back. So what you also need to think about as well is that a woman should really just be a complement to your life. Don't be so focused on finding a woman, locking her down to a relationship and all those kinds of things. What you should really be focusing on is creating a great life for yourself. And you do attract what you are. So if you really want to have let's say a really fit, healthy woman, then you also need to be someone who's fit and healthy, because like attracts like. If you want to have a woman who has a great lifestyle, let's say she exercises regularly, she eats really good, really nutritious things, then you also need to be doing exactly the same kind of thing. If you want a woman who's good at communicating, then you need to be good at communicating. A good book that can help you with communication is How to Win Friends and Influence People if you are worried and concerned that you're not that great at communicating. So really, if you've got to become what you want to attract in this life. But there are some other things as well that you can do to make women choose you more often. So you can become the best version of yourself and appear more attractive to other women. And I've made a little formula here, and I talked about it actually in the previous video that I made, but I understand that was quite a long video and it was kind of towards the end of the video, so a lot of people may not have watched it. But here are some things that can really help with getting a woman to choose you. So regular exercise. Okay, you gotta appear more attractive, right? Your physical appearance is always something that you can work on and make it better and improve it. You know, especially if you're lifting weights and you're running, or you're doing different things that are really good for your health. And obviously, those are just some ones that I picked. But if you find any kind of form of exercise, it could be that you do kickboxing or taekwondo, or you go swimming. Just find some kind of regular exercise that you can do that you enjoy doing, and just stick to that, and that could be your regular exercise. But you got to look good and look in shape, at least a little bit, because that will help you get your foot in the door. If you're attractive, it helps you get your foot in the door with women. But often even attractive guys can get rejected down the road because they are perhaps really poor at dating, they don't have very good social skills, perhaps they're just really mean and horrible, and eventually the women dump those guys. But they got in the door, and they got into her world because she was attracted to him. He looked physically appealing. But physical stuff doesn't matter too much. It matters maybe in the beginning, in like I said, it gets your foot through the door. But once a woman gets to know you and she can sense that you've got these rather strong masculine qualities, then it doesn't matter so much about how tall you are, how rich you are, how good looking you are. Okay. So another thing that would be really good for you and really beneficial for you is to find inspiring male friends. So you got to have you guy buddies, okay, and make sure that they're inspiring. Don't let them be one of these kinds of people that make you do things that are out of peer pressure, that make you do things that actually lower your self-esteem. You want to find people that lift you up and inspire you, not drag you down to their level and make you do things that are not good for your health, like, you know, smoking too much, drinking too much, any other kind of substance. Don't stick around guys that are actually not benefiting you in that kind of way. You want to find friends who lift you up and you can lift them up and you can build great lives together. Obviously not together, but you know what I mean. Like you're each other's allies and comrades and basically and things like that. So you want to find inspiring male friends, and it's also a good idea to spend time with other men because that will help you stay in your masculine. Because if you spend all your time with your woman, you're going to end up being more like her if she becomes your best friend and you do everything together and you don't have any other male friends. So you've got to have male friends in that kind of way. And also it's a good idea that they're inspiring or even better than you. So let's say maybe they're more successful in business, perhaps they're fitter than you, and that inspires you to lift yourself up so they can help pull you up to their level so you become more fitter, so you become more business savvy and things along those lines. So another thing as well is that you got to have a career that you enjoy. You got to be able to enjoy the things that you're doing in your life. You got to have, obviously jobs, you know, have pressures and stresses. Every job has that. Even my job has that as a coach. But I enjoy what I do. Like I'm really inspired right now. I'm really, you know, into what I'm talking about, and it feels good because I like doing what I'm doing. So you got to have a career that you enjoy. So when you're actually doing the work, you feel good. You feel like, oh yeah, I'm making progress. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It feels good, and that's the kind of career that you want. You want to have a career that makes you feel really good. And if you're not in a career like that already, start searching for one. Obviously, don't quit your job already because you'll probably need the capital to keep you afloat. But, you know, definitely be on the lookout for a new job. And then when you find something better for you, then you can hand in your 2 weeks notice or 4 weeks notice, whatever your notice period is. So another thing that can really help is helping others without expectation. This will make you feel really good and make you feel really abundant and make you feel like you're making a difference. So if you're helping others without expectation, then what you're doing is you're being of service to others, and also because you're helping other people and you're being nice to them and you're being kind and you're being generous, that also makes you feel good about yourself. Okay? So another thing as well is to live a life of honor and integrity. So you want to be feeling good about yourself. You want to feel confident about yourself. You want to have that self-esteem. And the best way to do that is to be living by your own values, the things that you do the things that you know you should be doing. You have that self-discipline, because often we can lose our self-esteem and how we feel about ourselves if we procrastinate, if we don't follow through on the things that we know we should be doing. So if you want to live a life of more honor and integrity, then I suggest that you start doing that. Obviously, another way of doing it is by being an honest person and always trying to do the right thing whenever possible. But it's always about thinking about knowing what you should be doing and then doing it. So another thing that can really help as well is to improve your social skills. And if you do this, then this is going to really help with women. If you need help, again, with improving your social skills, then that book I recommended, How to Win Friends and Influence People, will really help you with that. But something that you can do is you can go out and start talking to people. Now, they don't particularly have to be beautiful women, or they can be, but you can just talk to everyone. You can talk to old men, you can talk to old ladies, you can talk to cashiers at the supermarket, but try and have a conversation. Try and aim to have a conversation with one stranger every single day. And it doesn't have to be a long conversation. It could be just a bit of small talk, but that would just help you build your social skills. And if you've got a bit of social anxiety, it should help a little bit with that. But obviously, if you have really strong and painful sort of like social anxiety, then you may need to get some kind of therapy or talk to a doctor about that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, but I can help with things if you feel like, okay, I do have a bit of anxiety, but I think I can deal with it on my own. The best way that you can combat that is to go out and talk to people, and start having, just chatting and talking. And also it's a good idea to talk to people you wouldn't normally talk to. Okay, so let's say that you go out all the time, maybe you go to like comic book conventions, or you go to, you know, places that you go to with your friends, who've got like the same kinds of interests as you. Go to a different sort of thing. Go to a gym and start talking to people in the gym, or perhaps you just strike up a random conversation with someone who you don't know what they like and what they don't like, on the bus, or when you're queuing for the shop, when you're buying groceries. Just have a chat, just have a random chat, you know, and don't be afraid to do this, you know, because Susan Jeffers says that in her book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. What you want to do is you want to say, you don't, basically what you don't want to happen, you don't want to let your fear paralyze you. Don't be afraid to go up to someone and do it, because basically what the worst thing is the fear itself. Okay, and how you feel about it. But when you've actually done the action, you feel tons better. So improve your social skills. And those are some great ways that you can get more women to choose you, because if you become a great conversationalist and you become really good at talking to people, and you're not afraid to like go up to a stranger and start talking to them and have a little conversation with them, then when you do meet a woman who you really like, it's going to be very easy and effortless to actually talk to them. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.